Field.
Good evening.
There you are.
Yes.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see all of you. Good evening to all of you. Hopefully, since I'm 327, you're almost at the end. I'm not going to come with the numbers and all of that. I'm just going to give you my perspective why I support 6187 and 821, and I support them both for the same reason. And I'm going to take you back to earlier in the pandemic. I had a constituent who I missed her email. And I don't know how I came across her email, but when I did, I gave her a call. And she said to me, "Thank God you called me," because she felt like government wasn't responsive to her. And I'm sure some of you have had this very same conversation. She felt like she couldn't get an answer to her questions. And all of this stuff was piling on her because she wasn't able to work anymore. She wasn't able to pay her bills, and nobody was listening. And she said to me, "I was about to kill myself." That's what she said to me. And I don't know why I found her email on the day I found it, but I was afraid to get off that telephone call because I didn't want that woman to kill herself. And the reason why it was so important to me is because I felt that before myself. 20 plus years ago, I was a young husband. And I've told the story of sitting on a pile of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters and how that got me to the next paycheck. I'm not sure that pile of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters that I picked up along the way and put into a jar would get me to the next paycheck right now. The reason I support this is because that notion of a rising tide floating all boats just isn't right. I heard that earlier. I've been listening all day. Because we don't all have a boat. Because some of us who have a boat that's not structurally sound. And because we just don't live in the same conditions. We didn't come to this moment the same way. I don't have a lot to tell you. I just can tell you that there are people who are suffering. There are people who, when we talk about a rising tide, they are struggling just to stay afloat. And look, it's not a rising tide because the gravity is pulling at the waters. It's a rising tide because it's pouring in the lives of people. There are people standing on the shore whose houses are drowning, right? This is what we're talking about. And if we approach this moment in the way that we've been approaching every moment to this point, we're wrong. We have been in this building, at least I have, for many years, struggling to do what we've already been doing. Because it's been more of the pie has been a piece of something that we couldn't change. Because the cost of things keep increasing no matter what you do. We have been struggling to meet the moment. We've been saying, we'll cut the probate court so that we can do it. Even though the offset for that is so astronomical that that's insane. We have said the shooting task force, the disparity study, and I can go down a list of things that we do not do. We cannot do because we want to operate the way that we've been operating so we can go and say, hey, we're being responsible. But being responsible also takes into account what's actually happening. Listen, I'll end this really soon. When you can't do what you have been doing, you can't do the extra that you need to do. You can't make up for what you have to do in order to do the things we say we want to do right now. We keep talking equity. Equity requires revenue.
30 seconds.
I got it. Equity requires revenue. If we're going to have that conversation, if we're going to have the conversations about what's happened in COVID, then we need revenue. And whether it's this bill or some other form of the bill, it's what we absolutely need to do as a legislature. So thank you for being here and toughing it out. I know what it's like. God bless you.
Thank you.